from the hustle. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com, and we are on the road in New Braunfels, Texas, baby. We're here at John Wayne Service Company celebrating NASCAR coming to Austin, Texas. And right now, I am joined by Jeb Burton and his father, Ward Burton. Both of them NASCAR drivers, former NASCAR driver, current NASCAR driver. Jeb, you are racing this weekend. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
So it's fantastic because we have a lot of people here enjoying the food, and we're also helping people get jobs out here, which is amazing. But you have the 27 car out here. And what can people expect when they come out here to this event? Because, again, it's going until 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so Dad and I are out here signing autographs and taking photos with fans, and you can come here and apply to work for John Wayne Service Company. They got a bunch of technicians they're trying to hire, and you can get right out of high school and start making a bunch of money.
That's amazing. You know, you have the 27 car out there. I saw you get in there. You are a lot thinner than me. I was going to ask to see if I can get inside the car, but to be honest with you, I might fit, okay? But what would happen, though, is I would bust one of the tires and make it not street legal, not race legal if that happens. But, you know, I'm always fascinated by NASCAR because, you know, when I was growing up, in order to go to NASCAR or go to any of the races, I had to go to the Texas Motor Speedway or someplace in Fort Worth. And from San Antonio, that's like a 5-hour drive, right? And at that point, you have 100,000 people there watching the race. But now, because it's that Circuit of the Americas out here just outside of Austin, I mean, that's an hour and a half away. There's no excuse to go out there.
Yeah, I think it's great that we have two races in Texas in totally different parts of the state, because Texas is pretty much the size of two states. So it's great that we have two tracks in Texas. We race in Texas 3 times a year. Actually won at Fort Worth a couple years ago. So Texas has always been good to me. I always love coming out here and seeing a bunch of blue-collar, hard-working folks. And finished 10th at Circus of Americas last year, so hopefully I can be a couple spots better this week.
Very cool. I'm always interested in see what makes people tick, okay? Because racing, not everybody can do it, okay? The fastest driver that I know of, aside from you, is my wife, okay? My wife on rush hour is just crazy. We have that insurance thing where they monitor how fast you start and stop, and we get, like, notifications on her all the time. I think it's amazing. So my wife, Selena, is the best and worst driver that I know. But, you know, to get in there, not everybody can do that. And what makes you tick when it comes to that? Like, what... Is it the thrill of the race? Is it just a job? Is it fun? How do you describe your emotions, your feelings when you're out there on the track?
You just want to win. You know, you're a competitor, and it's not easy. It's really hard and difficult. Everything has to work out right. The car has to be good. Pit crew has to be good. It's so hard to win these races. That's why you don't see the same guy doing it every week. And when you do, their equipment's just so much better than everybody else out there normally is why they're doing it. So our sport is a lot different than other sports. We have so many other different moving parts. Where a quarterback just has an offensive line and receivers, we have, you know, different bolts and different people working on the car in the shop and different mechanics and aerodynamics and pit crews and a bunch of different things that can play into how you run. So it's really difficult, and when it all comes together, it's pretty special.
That is Jeb Burton, NASCAR driver, racing this weekend, Circuit of the Americas in Austin. Now, I was talking to your dad. It's one of those things where you don't see the same winner every week, but you always see some sort of family lineage or some sort of families. It's like in the business. It's a family business to be racing. When did you know that you wanted to race?
Probably when I was around 9 or 10 years old. I started messing around a little bit with go-karts and was always playing baseball or football, and then really started getting more involved when I was about 12 to 13 and really started racing then and knew that's what I wanted to do.
Your dad said he's just glad there's just one kid that is racing, because it's got to be tough. So Ward Burton is with us right now. Former driver, you know, you retired back in 2006, and, 2002. I met you early today, and I said, man, it's been 20 years since the Daytona 500. You won the Daytona 500 back in 2002. And going to be honest with you, went back in time last night. I watched the last probably 20 laps or so. It was kind of, going back, I was like, man, I remember that race. I remember Sterling getting out of the car and getting penalized for that, and then the restart and all that stuff, and then the Fords kind of made a nice little wall there, nice little line there for you. But going back in time, it's been 20 years. Can you believe it's been that long since you won that race?
No, sir. Feels like yesterday. But, you know, obviously a very special day for myself, my family, all the people that had helped us over the years to get to that point, and obviously the race team and our partners then. But I remember the ones that got away that we should have won as more or just as much as that day.
It's like poker, right? You remember the ones that you lose, not the big hands that you do win.
Yes, sir.
So it's amazing. Now you see your son race, and we talked about the fact that you said that you're glad that only one child is doing this. What is it like being on the outside looking in and seeing your son race?
So I think, you know, anybody that has a child, male or female, knows what it feels like when they're playing a sport, just a regular sport. It could be soccer, baseball, football, whatever, and you see them, even when they're exceeding, you want to be able to help them. You want to be able to do it better. You want to be able to, in some cases, do it for them. Well, add that with steroids or something like I would feel when you have an element of danger and you're absolutely helpless. You have no control over anything. So what Jeb was referring to on the racing, then think about the things that you can't control. You can't control a tire going down. You can't control a really dangerous wreck that Jeb was involved with at Daytona, a mistake that someone else made, but it dictated the outcome of his race. And then there was another competitor right next to Jeb that was in the fence that pretty much was such a horrific wreck, it took the motor out of the car, the rear end out of the car. So when I was sitting there watching it, I thought it was my son. My heart went out of my chest. The emotion, me trying to get to a TV screen where I was physically watching the race to make sure my son was okay. So you add all of that to the event of racing. It's a feeling that as a parent it took a long time to get used to. Still never really going to ever be used to it. You got no control of anything.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. It might not be a mistake that he does. It might just be a part of the vehicle. It might be someone else's mistake, and you're just wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes, sir. And that, you know, in motorsports, and you know, when you're going fast and you're never going fast enough, things happen quick, and things happen that's just out of your control, and that's a part of racing you never get used to, but that's racing.
And what's it like now, knowing that your father was racing for many, many years, and you grew up in that business? Do you feel that you have a little bit of an advantage knowing that your dad can give pointers or has experienced what you're experiencing yourself? Is it a good thing to have someone who's like your father or another family member that's in the same line of work?
I think so. I think I've kind of passed the point now of so many things he can help me with. I'm kind of on my own, but he helps me with things that he sees and things after the race and stuff like that. But I'm doing it myself now, and you know, I'm 29 years old, and some of the things if I hadn't figured out by now, I'm kind of in trouble, you know. So I got a pretty good team behind me and a bunch of guys that are working really hard, and hopefully we can keep growing the team that I'm at, and we can start to be able to win races. What
can people expect at a NASCAR race as a fan? Because it's one of those things, it's different than going to the AT&T Center to watch the Spurs or to go to go watch the UT Longhorns play or the Cowboys play. What makes it special or different to be at a NASCAR event?
The difference is you can't go down and get beside Tom Brady before he throws the football. You can get beside us and get our autograph every single weekend. The access is totally different. You can be on pit road, you can sit on the pit boxes, you can be right around us in the garage. It's just totally different access than any other sport.
A couple of quick things and I'll let you guys go. Are you a sports fan other than racing?
Oh, yeah.
What do you get into? What do you guys get into when it comes to sports?
Dad doesn't really watch any sports, but I like college football, college basketball, big Virginia Tech fan. And both of those, and Yeah, that's kind of what I like.
Sorry about Virginia Tech. They played Texas in the first round of the NCAA. A lot of people thought Virginia Tech was going to win that game because UT has a very questionable offense. But
have they still been winning?
Well, no, they lost in the round of 32. But March Madness is actually in San Antonio today.
Okay.
The South region is going on, so we've got 2 games going on today, Houston, Villanova in action. So it's going to be fantastic over in San Antonio. You said that you're a college football fan. Is it also Virginia Tech?
Yes, sir.
So VTech, basketball, all that.
Sir.
Okay. NFL at all?
No, not really, no.
That's fascinating because there are a lot of people who just, gravitate towards one or the other.
Too much politics in NFL. I like the college stuff.
There you go. Now, real quick, it doesn't have to be real quick, but, fast track to trades is one of the things that is being celebrated over here. It's not only to meet both of you guys and not only to see the 27 car, but also talk about how to help people get some really good paying jobs, maybe change their lives. And in the trades, we are right now at John Wayne Service Company in New Braunfels, and guess what? They're hiring, they're interviewing people. People are applying right now in front of us. How important is it to be involved in something like this?
Well, yesterday we visited 2 different high schools with kids that are learning these trades at a young age, men and women. So that's pretty cool to see, and a lot of these folks right out of high school can get jobs and come here to work for John Wayne. You don't have to go to college and be in debt for 15 years, and a lot of these folks are making more money than lawyers and doctors because, the trades is what this country needs right now. We need people to go out there and install hot water heaters and HVAC and plumbing and all kind of different things. So the things John Wayne are doing to help you get out in the field is pretty special.
And you'll be able to see that logo drive by in Austin, right? Circuit of the Americas this weekend. And Ward, tell me about the job issue here, because I think it's fascinating. Because when I was growing up, it was always about you have to go to college and get into debt in order to get a job and whatnot. But I tell you what, plumbers, electricians, those who do HVAC and stuff like that, they make really good money, have really solid careers. And what I like about it over here is they're saying you don't need to have experience, but you need to have some sort of mentality to be successful at this.
Well, so it's universal of trying to find people to get in the workforce in whatever trade it may be, right? My generation were taught by our parents at a very early age of what work and work ethic was. In some cases, we're missing some of that with this generation coming up. I'm lucky with my son and my children that we taught them good work ethics, but more importantly, of the partnership that Jeb has with John Wayne, is they and all the employees from the family, Don, that founded this company, they live off and work off a set of principles that's based on character and honor, and that's the way they treat all the employees. I can't tell you how many employees I've talked to just today that are so happy and been with this company for decades. There's so much opportunity to work for a company that cares about their employees. So men and women, if y'all are looking for a great opportunity, they're always hiring, and they want people that have the can-do attitude, because that's what this company is based off of. And you can, like Jeff said, not only make a good living and take care of your family, but you're going to be with a company that cares about you and that you can make a difference in your community and be a part of the community and part of this company. So it's a great opportunity, and all you got to do is go to johnwayne.com or dial 210-293-6788, and these opportunities are right here every day.
And keep in mind, johnwayne.com, that is without the H, that is JONWAYNE. Now, you did recommend a John Wayne movie for me, because I told you that I did movie reviews. You said it's called The Cowboys?
It's called The Cowboys. It's the only movie that I'm aware of that John Wayne actually perished. But it's a really interesting of us being here with the John Wayne Company, because John Wayne taught these young kids that were moving a herd of cattle in Texas to a market, and those young kids turned into men throughout the course of the movie, and it was all based on John Wayne and the cook teaching them a set of principles to live by. So it really fits into this. If you want to talk about a movie or documentary,
do y'all agree on movies? Do y'all agree on movies at all?
Yeah, I like Western movies.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I'll check that one out, but I appreciate it. Jeb Burton, Ward Burton, again, you are racing this weekend. Jeb,
Sir.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Circuit of the Americas in Austin. We are live at John Wayne Service Company in New Braunfels. You can come check out both gentlemen, get some autographs. Check out the 27 car, the John Wayne car. When we come back, we'll have a John Wayne representative talking a little bit more about the opportunities that are over here. Later on, obviously, more sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. Deshaun Watson might not be out of the woods yet, and we'll also break down Texas Tech versus Duke. Is it Coach K's last game? This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
This is Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix and I will get you caught up on the latest news, moves, and more this afternoon, 4 to 7 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
That's right. And speaking of Joe Reinagle, you could win tickets to see the opening round of the Valero Texas Open on the Blitz all week long. We've got a pair of tickets to Friday's second round, which is March 31st at TPC San Antonio. Come check out Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, fantastic. And again, the Blitz tonight from 4 to 7 will be at the Yingling Lager Hoop City at Pinkerton's. Pledge, we're showing the games, baby, at Legacy Park. Big screen out there. Are you going to be out there either of the nights, Pledge?
For for the Hoop City?
Yingling Hoop City, yeah.
Well, you know I'm going to be out there Saturday because the Saturday morning hangover's out there.
Well, that's right, but I mean, I want to party one of these nights, a Thursday night or a Friday night. You know, it's going to be great tonight because you actually have the games that are local that are going to be playing. So I'm looking forward to tonight's game. Again, the Sweet 16 here in San Antonio. Michigan against Villanova, the early game, the 6:29 tip-off. And then around 9 o'clock, we have the 1 seed Arizona Wildcats against the Houston Cougars. Find it fascinating that it's a 1 seed against a 5 seed. But right now, Arizona's only favored by 1.5 in Vegas right now. It's going to be a great night at the AT&T Center. But if you can't make it to the games, make it out to Pinkerton's, Legacy Park, right across from Pinkerton's. Great food, great drinks. Again, the Blitz will be on from 4 to 7.
What's your favorite game today?
My favorite game today is going to be that Houston game because I think Houston is just one of those teams that people just don't keep an eye on. And again, it's one of those things where you watch more and more of college basketball as you get closer to the conference tournaments and March Madness. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I was watching Houston back in November, December, and January, but you start picking it up in February, and you see, hey, these are talented teams out there, so much so that even Vegas thinks that Houston has a chance. It's also, I mean, come on, if Houston fans make their way down here, I don't want to say that it's going to be a home game in San Antonio, but I mean, come on, there's a big difference between going from Houston to San Antonio than it is going from Tucson to San Antonio on a quick notice. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if there's a red out at the AT&T Center and a lot of Houston Cougar fans out there. But welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. We're on ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Currently live. We're live over in New Braunfels at John Wayne Service Company. We're celebrating fast tracks to the trades. And right now I'm joined by Don Rackler, who's the owner of John Wayne Service Company. Again, they do heating, plumbing, electrical, AC, and all that stuff. Because right now, my understanding is these are good jobs and you are hiring right now.
Yes, sir, we are.
So what do you look for when someone applies for a job? Because we saw somebody sitting down, filling out an application just right now. I mean, are you looking for experience? Are you looking for an attitude? What do you look for in hiring someone?
Well, primarily, if you're new to the trade, we're looking for the attitude. But actually, we're looking for the attitude all across the board. But if you're like a young man just coming out of high school, looking to get in the trades, we're looking for an attitude. We're looking for somebody who is teachable, trainable. That's primarily what we look for it now. If there's another guy that people that already have experience in the trade, we're looking for attitude as well. But we're looking for skilled people and unskilled people because we have the John Wayne Academy for Technical Excellence where we will bring you into the trade. It's a 3-month course. We pay to go to school. You graduate in 3 months into your own truck, become a maintenance technician, and that job starts around $50,000 a year plus full benefits and your own service vehicle.
Very nice. And what's the high end? You know, someone's been working here for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. How much can someone make on the upside as they progress in their career?
We have guys that make over $200,000 a year as service technicians.
Amazing. And,
Yes.
and no college needed for this.
No
You
college.
just need to know how to do something, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to be skilled and trained. You got to know your job, and we have the wherewithal to make that happen for you. And we have people that when you're if you're stumped on a job or whatever, they have resources.
So you're not alone, right? When you get started on here, even though you finish that 3-month program, I'm going to assume that you're not an expert at that point. You have to have on-the-job type of training.
Well, sure, absolutely. And, you know, as young guys first starting out, that's why we start them in the maintenance position. It's not as a skillful job, but, you know, we don't want to put you out there and overwhelm you. There is a lot to know, there's a lot to learn, and actually you learn something every day on a good day. I've been in this trade for almost 50 years, and there's still things to be learned.
Not only are we celebrating the fast track to the trades, but also celebrating the fact that NASCAR is just down the street. We're between New Braunfels and San Marcos right now, right? And at the Circuit of Americas, just down the road, closer to Austin, we have NASCAR events going on all weekend long. How proud are you going to be to see the 27 car going around with that John Wayne name on it?
That is going to be amazing. That's a first for us, and so we're very proud to be associated with Jeb and Ward, and they're just great people. On top of all that, they're good people, good, honest, decent people, and we're proud to be associated with people like that.
It's pretty fantastic. We got to meet them in the last segment. They were talking about what it's like to be in the business as a family. You know, Ward was talking about as a father. Now, from the outside looking in, it's fantastic to talk about to these people about what makes them tick and, you know, what gets them going. But it's also fascinating to know that, you know, this company can be involved in a sport, that you guys can be part of that. So you're not only cheering for the fan, you're cheering for the car, you're cheering for the name. There's so much going on in there. And you said that this is new to the company?
Yes, we've never sponsored a race car before, so this is a new venture for us.
Very cool. Now, this whole event is going on till about 3 o'clock.
That's correct. Yes,
and
sir.
people can come by, meet Jeb, meet Ward, check out that 27 car. More importantly, come in and also try to get a job as well. What's the interview process like when someone applies over here? What's the turnaround of being contacted and things like that?
Well, it depends, but, you know, typically we do have our human resources person here today, and we'll be able to greet you and give you the written application. That's the starting process, and then we will review that, and then we'll call you back for an interview. You can also go online, and you can do it at johnwayne.com. You can interview right there, and then you know, we take it from there.
I want to emphasize that is spelled johnwayne.com. That's spelled JONWAYNE. Take out the H. It's not like the actor. It's John Wayne without the H. This is fantastic. You know, it's a great day out here, and what I like about it is we see a lot of the John Wayne employees over here, and it looks to be kind of like a family over here. Everyone seems to be getting along, enjoying the food, enjoying the weather. You picked a perfect day for this.
We were blessed, my friend.
Very cool. So are you going to the race on Saturday?
Yes, sir. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay, what are you looking forward to over there? Are you a NASCAR fan?
You know, I used to be a big NASCAR fan, but over the years I've just kind of slipped away from me. But, you know, back in my day, I used to have a little race car, used to run out on the track, Highway 16 Raceway. That's way back in the 70s.
And were you behind the wheel?
I was. And I hit the wall. I crashed.
Everyone knows how fast they one time got. What was the fastest you ever got?
Well, we were in the lowest class of cars. They called it the Thunder class.
Yeah.
They would probably maybe get 90 miles an hour in the straightaway.
Okay.
But, you know.
Now, I was part of a race. I went to Las Vegas, and I was at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and a friend of mine invited me out there, and we got to pick out a car and race, and it wasn't on the oval, but it was on the track, I guess you could say, and I got it to 117. I got super excited about that. 117 was the fastest I got. It was in a Ferrari, but it was fun times, but I did not hit the wall because I had somebody there sitting shotgun going, okay, slow down. He goes, you can float for 7 seconds and then you got to slow down or you're hitting all those tires up there. But fantastic. I'm glad that you're looking forward to the races this weekend. Have you ever been to a NASCAR event?
I have.
Okay.
Several times.
Because it's like it's a different world. It's like you go to football games, not everybody tailgates. Right. You go to basketball games, there's no tailgating. But at NASCAR, you don't go for just the race. You go for the weekend. It is an experience.
Yeah, they have events going on all day long before the races. There's events all day long, Saturday and Sunday, and concerts and what have you.
Very nice. That is Don Rackler, owner of John Wayne Service Company. Again, we're out in New Braunfels out here. Like I said, if you're coming from San Antonio, just go about 5 miles past the Buc-ee's. We're on the right-hand side. Again, they're hiring over here. We have Jeb Burton, Ward Burton out here as well. NASCAR